Some of the busiest people you know will die having achieved nothing. And the scary part, you might be one of them. We live in an age where being busy is a badge of honor. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of us are confusing motion with progress. Take Frederick Winslow Taylor, the so-called father of efficiency. In the early 1900s, he transformed American industry with his obsession for measuring every movement, every second, and every task. Factories became fast, workers became busier, and productivity skyrocketed. Or so it seemed. But here's the twist. Decades later, researchers realized something shocking. Workers were indeed moving faster, but not necessarily creating more value. They were trapped in the illusion of progress, doing more, achieving less. Taylor's system gave us busyness as the ultimate metric. And a century later, we are still addicted to it, measuring our lives in hours worked, emails answered, tasks completed, all while ignoring the question that matters most. But are we actually moving forward? Now pause for a moment and look at your own life. How many hours do you spend glued to your inbox? How many tasks do you rush to finish only to realize the next day that none of them truly mattered? Psychologists call this the business trap. We chase the dopamine of crossing items off our to-do list. Every ping, every check mark, every tiny win tricks our brain into believing we're advancing. But we're not. We're just spinning on a wheel, like lab rats chasing a pellet. Think about Sarah, a young professional who worked 12-hour days, answering every email within minutes, jumping on every meeting, chasing every deadline. She looked productive. She felt indispensable. But 3 years later, she realized she hadn't built a new skill, hadn't moved closer to her dream role, and was still in the same position, just more tired. Sarah's story is not unique. It's the story of millions, and maybe, just maybe, it's your story too. Here's the truth most people never face. Busyness is not a sign of importance. It's a symptom of misdirection. If your days are crammed with activity, but you can't point out to meaningful growth in your life, you're not progressing. You're stalling. Time is not measured by how fast we move, but by what we move towards. A man can run in circles for hours and go nowhere. Another can take a single, deliberate step and change the course of his life forever. This is why so many of us feel exhausted yet empty. Because activity without clarity is the slowest form of death. A life lived in constant motion but with no destination. So how do you break free from the trap of busyness? It comes down to 3 deliberate shifts. Before you act, ask, how am I doing this? Why am I doing this? If the answer isn't tied to a clear goal or value, it's noise, not progress. Stop scattering your energy. Choose one thing that matters and give it the focus it deserves. A river cuts through rock, not by speed, but by persistence. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. Build sustainable rhythms. Rest, reflect, realign. Progress isn't about rushing forward, but moving forward consistently. Clarity, depth, rhythm. That's how you stop confusing motion with progress and finally start moving with purpose. In the end, the world won't remember how fast you move, only how deeply you lived. Trade the rush for rhythm. Trade the noise for clarity. Trade the motion for true progress. If this made you stop and think, imagine what's coming next. Hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell because we're just getting started. And if you found value here, give this video a like. It helps more people slow down and live deeper.